Well, let's take a quick look at Stephen Hawking. I've talked a lot about how Stephen Hawking was not a real person. He was a character. And people say, how dare you, Big Bear? How dare you? When Dave Chappelle makes fun of it in 5 years, we'll discuss it. But this is an actual translation. Before his robot voice, he had a translator who looks exactly like Larry Bird. Tell me if you think that anything about this is real.
I think, in a way, physics has been a progress away from mysticism towards a rational understanding of the universe.
Stephen, when did you first realize you wanted to be a physicist?
I think I knew from about the age of 9 or 10 that I wanted to be a scientist. Most of my activities, like playing with model fireworks, or model railways, or playing complicated games, was aimed in some way at finding out how the world worked around me. I was never very good with my hands, and my models did not work very well.
Okay, guys, we can all see that this is not real at all. It was normalized by Han Solo and Chewbacca. As you can see there, on the left is Han Solo, and on the right is Chewbacca. No one understands the grunting and gurgling, but somehow Han Solo, with his he has the same haircut as Han Solo, and he's alleged to be a very handsome Larry Bird guy. There is no way that the gurgling, and this is why the internet changed the entire game with scams. Is back in the day, a lot of people were not exposed to people that treat people with ALS or a lot of these ailments. Ukrainian Bear is currently taking care of someone with ALS. We can talk to him right now. Is that possible? Is that actual speech? Of course not. That's legitimately insane. And this guy cheated on his wife. He didn't exist, Matt. That's my point. He was Helen Keller 2.0. It's no extremities. Helen Keller had a British accent even though she couldn't hear. How is that possible, you ask yourself? Well, it isn't possible. Let's just take another look at this, and then we'll discuss something called empathy vampires. I believe Keanu Reeves is 100% an empathy vampire based on his life story, how he lives, who he's currently with, romantically. I can prove it. I can prove that. I can't prove that there was any kind of satanic sacrifice or anything like that. I think he might actually not even be a super bad guy. He might be completely, I'll have conclusions at the end. But anyway, let's just have another big laugh. And again, there's going to be people that say, how dare you laugh at a cripple? Guys, what you're watching is a scam. That's not an authentically diseased person. And if it is, they're using him. It's kind of like what they did with Greta Thunberg and David Hogg. They'll use children as human shields to front their agendas, and then when you attack them, they go, how dare you attack a child? Well, why did you put a child on CNN? So I believe that Stephen Hawking was alive with ALS for about 5 years. That's typically how long. I think he was a real person. I think he had it, and I think that people saw that for some reason, more of the masses were listening to a guy because of his disease than if he had a faster mind, because it degenerates the mind and the ability to communicate. So then they used his brand, probably a puppet, guys. I don't know, someone playing the role. I don't know. But, guys, this isn't actual translation.
I think, in a way, physics has been a progress away from mysticism towards a rational understanding of the universe.
Stephen, when did you first realize you wanted to be a physicist?
I think I knew from about the age of 9 or 10 that I wanted to be a scientist. Most of my activities, like playing with model fireworks, or model railways, or playing complicated games, was aimed in some way at finding out how the world worked around me. very good with my hands, where my models did not work very well. But I was always interested in models that I could control. And I think that nowadays I have translated that into studying physics. Because in a way,
The funniest guy by far is this guy, because I think he's watching this whole thing like, just don't point out that this isn't real.